First up is a product that we've been talking about for some months now. We showed you the global debut and talked about why it's so important for India. That is the Street 750 from Harley Davidson. The bike's right here with us, and Bala had the opportunity for a much longer ride than the few minutes I have been able to spend with this bike. Let's go straight in to our first review.
India is among the 5 markets in the world to get the Street 750. And yes, for us the headline was its 4 lakh rupee price tag when it debuted at the Auto Expo. But does that price also mean a compromise on Harley Davidson-ness? Let's find out. The Street family sports the company's first all-new platform in 14 years. It's being productionized with the Street 500 and 750 twins at Harley Davidson's plants in the US for the Americas and India, for export to Europe and other world markets. The bikes also feature the new family of liquid-cooled Revolution X powertrains. And the platform also boasts higher ground clearance and an urban bias on the suspension setup. The Street 750 looks a little less intimidating than other Harleys, with a leaner, muscular design and a neat teardrop-shaped tank. But it still has presence, and the fairing around the circular headlight lends some HD character. The instrument cluster looks simple in the center with the speedometer, and the quality of the switches aren't exactly Harley standard, which was disappointing. The position of the rear view mirrors is a bit of a bother, as you have to struggle to get the full image of the rear when riding. Our ride on the Street 750 began on the open highway, where the 749cc V-twin engine lets you cruise at 3-digit speeds with ease. Just to prove to you that it is every bit a Harley. The throttle responses are quick with smooth acceleration, and all 6 gear shifts are easy and precise, letting you enjoy the ride. Even at really high speeds of over 120 km per hour, the engine doesn't make a fuss about being pushed and allows to open up the throttle further.
Although the Street 750 has been designed primarily with a lot of urban commuting characteristics, you do get familiar Harley kind of cruising riding dynamics, especially out on the highway. The throttle response is quick and responsive and lets you get to 3-digit marks quite easily. But the braking itself doesn't inspire too much, especially the rear brake doesn't bite too much. But otherwise, the engine really eases out at high speeds on the highway and lets you cruise quite smoothly.
What is really impressive is the way the bike maneuvers through city traffic despite its 222 kg heft. The added ground clearance helps too. The engine backs all this up with ample torque in the low and mid-range, letting you zip around without any hassles. The riding position on the Street 750 is low, with well laid out handlebars, although the front foot pegs are a bit high and could leave you uncomfortable during long rides. More so for really tall riders. You will certainly notice that the Street 750's engine sound doesn't go potato like other Harleys, but sounds more like a soft rumble, which is quite distinct and yet kind of un-Harley-like. Having ridden it over 300 kilometers in half a day, both on the highway and through wild Delhi city traffic, we can confidently say the Street 750 is a motorcycle that rides very much like a Harley Davidson, although the feel could have been a bit better. But the bike really took us by surprise with its fantastic engine performance and easy yet solid handling. And yes, Harley Davidson says it's geared up to avoid long waiting periods.
So as Harleys go, it's a really maneuverable bike, and as you saw there, Bala got a chance to spend a fair amount of time with the bike, even in city traffic, so that's a little different than what we usually do. Bala is right here with me, so let me bring him into this. Hi Bala.
Hi.
The whole aspect of how this bike, and even Harley likes to say that it's, it's a very different, very urban-centric product compared to the rest of its range. How did that work out for you?
You got to give credit to Harley in terms of, that's such an area that they really didn't work so well at, in terms of, the city condition. It was a heavy bike, it wasn't easily maneuverable, and even the engine itself wasn't too comfortable in city traffic. But with this bike, you really feel the torque being available, flat torque available even at the low and mid-range, so you really don't have to shift too much. Even in terms of the handlebars being positioned, fairly easy to to try traffics, tight corners, getting it in parking, no problems at all. It's an area really that Harley has worked on with this whole urban riding kind of focus that they've brought in with the Street 750. But that doesn't mean that it's kind of lost out on the cruising characteristics, because you push it on the highway, the engine is equally powerful. So, the ride and feel is there, but they could have done a lot more really with this bike.
But I know you still enjoyed the ride because I saw all your tweets. But I have to say, I've just spent a little bit of time riding this bike so far. And you take that badge away, you're not necessarily sure it's a Harley, right? That's perhaps what's at the heart of it. Let me bring somebody else into this right now. You've had the chance to see his debut on the show just a couple of weeks ago. That's Ashish Jha, who also joins us now. And Ashish, welcome to the CNB family and also to the program today.
Thank you.
That's the point, right? I mean, is it Harley enough? I know you haven't spent time with the bike yet, but do you think that's for the Harley purist, that's going to be too big a compromise?
Absolutely. I mean, in my view, this is not really the purest form of Harley Davidson. I think it's just a little bit of a compromise that they've done. Just overall, the quality-wise and just the fittings and everything, they've gone with MRF tires. So, in a way, this is not really the purest form of Harley Davidson for me, no.
And 5 years ago, we would never have dreamed Harley would do something like this.